Hi guys, welcome to my channel today, and in one of my other videos I said I would do a little video on my bottle babies. So I'm gonna do a little video since it's about feeding time for them. First I'm gonna go over what I have basically in my stock kit right now. I don't have that much, but I'm going over the basics of what you'll need in order to successfully raise orphaned kittens and puppies. So the ones that I have right now are about 3 weeks old. They already are walking, their eyes are open, their ears are perked up. So if you have a kitten younger than 3 weeks old, I would recommend you invest in a heating pad, and you want the ones that that don't have an auto shut off. I know they're a little more pricier, but it's worth it in the long run because, for example, like I do feedings in between work. I come home real quick since I only work like 2 minutes away from my house, so I come home, feed them real quick, and it works really good if you have a heating pad that's not going to shut off, because then you have to constantly worry and wake up during the night and worry if the heating pad's on or not, because it's kind of hard when they're that little for them to generate their own body heat, especially the times I would get like one bottle baby that was orphaned all by itself or something, then I would really need that heating source. These kittens, however, they're in a pair, and they're older, so they have an easier time of regulating their body temperature, but of course, and you don't really need a heating pad for these kittens. So basically, since these kittens are 3 weeks old, probably in another week or so, I'm gonna start making some gruel for them. You don't want to rush it too much though, so the kittens will pretty much tell you when they're ready. Signs of them being ready is if you're constantly feeding them, they're drinking a whole lot of milk, and they're still seeming hungry after that, then maybe it's time to make some gruel. So I have these Kitten Science Diet soft food, and you just mix that with a little milk when you're ready to start weaning them. So I have that. Then for kittens of this age, you might want to start investing in paper litter pans and litter box, just litter to put in the pan. Sorry, I can't really think straight right now. I've been kind of running. And then also, you of course need formula. Do not use regular cow's milk, that will upset their tummies a lot. And I have KMR, or kitten milk replacement. I have the liquid form and the powder form. Now right now, just to get them started, I was using the liquid form. I dilute it with a little Pedialyte, and the reason for that is if you just give it to them straight, most instances, in my experience, they're going to get severe diarrhea, and you don't want them to become dehydrated, so it's good if you dilute it about half and half, and I usually use a clear, unflavored Pedialyte. You don't want to use a flavored. The unflavored is nice and safe. They're starting to wake up in there. So I prefer the powder. The powder lasts a lot longer too. And then you need some syringes, which you can get from any vet supply, like if you tell them that you have kittens, or if you go like to the grocery store, to the pharmacy, they should be able to give you some syringes. Now mind you, you don't need to always have a syringe on for every kitten. Some of them will take immediately to the bottle, but just in case, it's always good to have at least one syringe for those emergencies where the kitten is too weak or they're just not latching on. And then I have a regular bottle, and then I have this other bottle, which you can see I modified it. I put a miracle nipple on it because they just latch on much better with that nipple. So those are the basic things you'll need. These miracle nipples are amazing. It's pretty much almost like a mother's nipple to them. And it's much easier for them to latch on, because especially with kittens, like puppies are really easy. They usually have no problem with the nipples that come on the bottles, but for kittens, their mouths are a lot smaller, so you need something like a little smaller, and many times I end up syringe feeding the kittens more so than the puppies, unless it's like a small breed puppy, just because it's harder for the kittens to latch onto something bigger, because if you think about it, the nipples on a mother cat are really tiny, so they're used to that. So that's all I have. Other than that, you will need a lot of blankets. You'll need some cotton balls or something you can wet to stimulate them to go to the bathroom. You want to do this every feeding, stimulate them to go until you are certain that they're going on their own, and even then sometimes they still need a little help. So at this age I've been stimulating them because sometimes they'll hold their pee in and that's not good for their bladder. So you want to make sure they're going regularly. And I have this burping cloth that I'm just using since I don't use burping cloths anymore. My kids are older. I use that to kind of catch their pee and whatever. Then you need a warm cup with water. Well, I guess I should say a cup with warm water to heat up the formula that you're going to be using, because they can get upset tummy if you feed it to them straight cold, and plus they tend to not like the milk that cold. So I find it's best if you make it nice and warm, around room temperature or a little bit warmer, but not scalding hot. Like, they actually really take to it a lot better. And they sleep a lot better too with warm milk in their tummies. So before we feed them, you can see them poking their heads out there. Hey kitties. Oh, you're hungry, aren't you? Alright, so that's the bigger one. And so before you feed them, you want to make sure, just like a regular human baby, that you test the milk on your wrist, because your wrist is the most sensitive part of your body. So you can't really see it too well, but I'm going to test it. So that's what it looks like. I just tested the milk on my wrist. And it feels room temperature, so that's the perfect temperature to feed them. So all you're going to do is, first I like to go ahead and stimulate them to go to the bathroom. And this is kind of hard to do with one hand. So I'm going to pause the camera real quick. Alright guys, so I stimulated the kitten. All you do basically is you gently rub the wet cotton ball on their private area until they start to urinate, or sometimes they'll go number 2 as well. So you just do that until you feel that they're done, and then after that just kind of wipe their bottom to make sure it's not wet. And this kitty is very hungry, looking for the bottle, so... also, whenever you're looking at their pee color, I know it sounds kind of gross, and sorry to those of you that get offended by stuff like that, but I'm just doing this video solely for the purpose of educating people that might be new to the orphan bottle baby world. Whenever you're looking at their pee, it should be a light yellow color. If it starts getting darker, that means they're either not eating enough, or they're dehydrated from diarrhea or something. You might have to supplement with a little Pedialyte or something to give them back those electrolytes. So right now, what I'm looking at, the pee is almost like it's slightly off-white. It's a lighter yellow, so that's what we're looking for in a healthy kitten. Also, you want to make sure after you feed them that their bellies look full. If they still don't look full and they look pretty skinny or whatever, you want them to have like a milk belly. Kind of like a pot belly. Don't overfeed them. They'll let you know when they're done. I'll try to show you. Let me see if I can prop this camera up a little bit. Let's see. They're looking for that, for the bottle, for the nipple. Oh, okay. So, we're gonna hold the bottle up. Okay, here you go. Ow. Alright. There you go. Hold on. Just wait till they latch. You gotta be patient sometimes. Here you go. But basically, I'll show you real quick. You're gonna hold the bottle up like that. You don't want to hold it like this because they're just gonna get air in their tummies and then they can aspirate and they'll have a lot of tummy issues. Just like when babies get air in their tummies, they get a lot of like upset stomach, they get belly aches and stuff. You want to make sure you have always milk in the nipple and hold it like that. Also, you want to hold the kitten upright, kind of upright like this. I know you can't see it too well. Let me pick up the camera. And sorry about this awkward positioning, but you want to hold them upright. You don't want to hold them down like this, or you don't want to hold them like this with their belly facing up. Just upright. And if you need to get them in a blanket to kind of calm them down and secure them, then do that. That's why I have this blanket over here. But yeah, that's about it. Just make sure you're holding them upright. Rub them on the back a little, like gently after you feed them, just to make sure that if they have to burp, you get that burp out, just like a real baby. And other than that, you're pretty much done feeding the kitties. So if y'all have any questions, I know I probably missed certain things. If y'all have any questions or anything about what to do when something happens or like a certain circumstance or whatever, just feel free to message me and I will comment as soon as I can. But that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and y'all have a great day.